Hey, welcome. This is the process. Dr. John Bush here. This is part three of my defense against the position, going team by team over the 18 weeks in 2021. So you obviously need to start with part one and two before you watch this. So go away, then come back. For those of you who've already done one and two, we will continue and we'll start off with the team is Kansas City. The week, their opponent. Their opponent is shaded green for very easy, light green for fairly easy, light red for tough, and deep dark red, the toughest of all. Okay, and then home and away games, and we talked about the offensive defense against the position. So this is their opponent. So week one, they face Cleveland, and Cleveland has a offense DAP. Their Cleveland's defense is 77, which is fairly easy. So Kansas City should win this game, but Cleveland gives a 31 DAP, which is below average and tougher towards the running backs here. But Cleveland is not so good against passing. They give a 74 for the quarterback, 70 for the wide receiver, and the tight end gets a walkover. Kelsey, wake up, 94. So it's almost the easiest in the league. And then if you're doing kickers and defense, you can see it's about average for the Cleveland. So I like to look across, and it looks to me Kansas City could be 3-0 or 2-1. Baltimore's fairly tough. In fact, they're easiest against the tight end, which is one of Kansas City's strengths. But everywhere else, they're kind of tough here. Look at the DAPs in the 30s and 40s. So that's tough. Then they play the Chargers, fairly easy. If I look across, it's like the first 5 games, Kelsey has a cakewalk. So I expect he'll do quite well and get off to a hot start. Playoffs, Kansas City has the Chargers and Cincinnati, so 2 of the 3 weeks should be fairly easy. Week 16 figures to be tough against Pittsburgh here. Look at that, 10 against a tight end, and 18 against a quarterback, and 13 against the running back, and overall's a 19. So that's the hardest opponent as predicted by last year's. This, like I said, I will revamp after probably about 3 games and redo everything I've done here. Okay, hey, that's just the way it's got to be if you got to keep up as a whatever pundit in fantasy football here. So KC should do fairly well. I have a bar graph of the season. I like to look at landscapes here, and this is above 50 is easy. So you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So not the easiest, but pretty easy. 10 of their 17 games should be easy. They don't really have a tough stretch in any cycle here. So I don't, some teams, they have a big stretch of tough games. And like I said, Pittsburgh is the toughest in week 16. Well, Washington's tough as well, week 6. So you can look right away and see where the toughest weeks are. So this helps in daily fantasy sports, right? Any kind of prop bets. All this DAP can be the beginning of your research into some of those plays as well. So That's how I would use this. Breaking ties for lineups, these kind of things. DAP is good for that. Okay, the Chargers. Chargers first 3 weeks. Washington and KC, tough. So Chargers could they face Dallas. Could be 0-3, could be 1-2. So Chargers are going to have a rough go of it for sure. In the playoffs, they have KC and Denver, tough, and one easy game against Houston. So Chargers have a tough row to hoe this season. They figure to have some fairly significant opponents here. And let's take a look. So right there you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. So 9 then tough games. 8 fairly easy games. So that's not so good for the Chargers here. And just, be aware in your lineups. Weeks 2, 4, and 5 look pretty good, right? Weeks 9 and 10, kind of some rough spots in here in the playoffs here. So I don't know. Be careful of the Chargers. The Rams figure could be 0-3. Look at it: Chicago, Indianapolis, and Tampa Bay. They could lose all 3 of those games, or maybe be 1-2. So that's tough. So I know people drafted the Woods and Cups and whatnot, but the DAPS 21, 47, 57, Tampa Bay, a little bit easy. So that's not so good for the first 2 games. And playoffs, though, Seattle, Minnesota should be easy. Baltimore should be tough. So your playoffs might be including playing the Rams here. So that could be good for you here. Could be really good. So let's look. Here we go right here. It's, let's see, I'll do the first 3 games. Tough. Okay. But they didn't have a nice set of games. But games on either side of the bye are tough. But then they spring loose in here. But this is tough and that's tough. So Chargers may make the playoffs, but theoretically they could be near 500 for the season. Could be tough here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's about average. The Raiders figure they could also be 0-3 coming out of the first 3 weeks. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Miami. Playoffs, they get 1 easy: Cleveland and Denver and Indianapolis. So your Raiders are going to have a tough time this season. May have one of the toughest. And sure enough, they only have 1, 2, let's call it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, this is almost breaking. So 7. That means 10 games are tough. Look at the first 3. Here's 2 tough ones. And 2 tough ones in the playoffs here. So Raiders are going to have a real strict time. And just be aware of that their first 3 games, they're going to look tough. In fact, their first 7 games, they could be 2-5. Wow, that's going to knock them down in the dirt a little bit. So it could be a train wreck there. Miami figures to have a shot at least the Raiders. Could beat Buffalo. Could be a shootout there. New England should spank them. So they could be 1-2 or 2-1. We'll see. We'll see right away, can they handle Buffalo. They have a late bye, but they do have the Jets and Tennessee, easy times for playoffs, only New Orleans. So your Miami players may help you in the playoffs if you make it to that. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind that they have 2 of 3 good times here. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about average. Nothing really in a pattern. I will say that these 4 games look pretty good for Miami. Miami could surprise this year, folks. They have some gaps here, and they could be, they could make the playoffs. Could be very interesting. That Buffalo game, I think, is going to tell us a lot. Minnesota should be 2-1 or 3-0. Cincinnati, Arizona, it could be a shootout. Arizona and Seattle, so they have a shot. They have a pretty good defense, and they could be 2-1. Playoffs, rut row. Thielen and Jefferson, they're going to have to earn their paychecks. Look at that. Chicago, the Rams, Green Bay. Oh, my goodness. Minnesota's going to be exploding. Look at that. Week 11 on. They have one breather in shh. Hey. So week 11, like I was saying, Green Bay, Frisco, Pittsburgh, Rams, Green Bay again. Oh my goodness. That's murderer's row. I think Minnesota explodes. Check this landscape out. Oh my goodness. And they're going to look so good early on. Okay. If I was a trading person, you might trade right here. Unload the hot potatoes, because this is a hell of a stretch. Rut row. So that's if you can trade, that's the time to do it. New England has one easy, 2 hard. They could be 1-2 easily. Playoffs, they have 2 easy. Buffalo, could be a shootout. And Jackson. So Indianapolis, a little tough. So we'll see how it goes. But Indy has first 4 games, 3 of them are tough. Then they have a nice, look at that, almost a smooth sailing. So if Cam can get it together, they have a shot at really going into their bye with some serious wins behind them. They will have to fight, though, in the playoffs, but New England could make it this year. At least the Daps give them some edge. New Orleans, first 5 games, they're going to get tested. They could be 0-5. Oh my goodness. And look at the playoffs. Tampa Bay, Miami, Carolina. Oh my goodness. So that's not so good. So tough, going to bye, and they're going to come out easy, and then 3 more tough. Mentally, are the Saints going to survive coming out of the bye? They'll have an opportunity to really catch fire. I just don't know if that's going to be enough momentum to propel them. We'll see. New Orleans has a tough show. They're going to get tested. The Giants have a tough show as well. Atlanta's their only break, week 3. Denver and Washington, Playoffs, though, they have some. Dallas, Philadelphia are easy, and Chicago's a little tough. So they may, catch a breather out here towards the playoffs. Washington's going to, if it comes down to the Giants versus Washington, Washington's probably going to crush them. So take a look. 3 of the 4 are tough. And looks like they get kind of an easy shot here. 3 of the 4 are tough as well. So Giants, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still tough. Still tough. Giants are going to have a good road to hoe. Jets, they could be 0-3. Spanked 3 weeks in a row. Playoffs, 2 of 3 weeks, not good. Jacksonville can help them in week 16. Not sure. Tough right here. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. Jets, I wouldn't expect much. Philadelphia could be 2-1. If they can beat Dallas, that's going to tell us something. That's the game right there. Atlanta, they should win. San Francisco, they should lose. Philadelphia, if they can beat Dallas at Dallas, oh my goodness. Because look at the playoffs for you. Washington, the Giants, and Washington again. Oh my goodness. That's not good. Philly's going to work hard to try to make the East playoffs this year. Take a look at this. Wow, that's tough. That's kind of tough right in there, and that's kind of tough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe you could count that as 7. Philly has a tough schedule, folks. Sorry to tell you. Pittsburgh could be 3-0. Everybody's saying Big Ben's back. Well, he's got an easy 3 games. Playoffs, though. Well, playoffs, yeah. Kansas City's tough, but Tennessee and Cleveland. Pittsburgh could help you out as well. All those wide receivers. That's nice. Okay. This is a nice collection, and this is not too bad. Not too bad. Pittsburgh, I have some hope that they will help us out in the playoffs here. Seattle could be 2-1, but boy, look at 4, 5, 6, and 7. Murderer's Row here. Rut Row. Seattle could get knocked back down. Playoffs, 1 easy, 2 tough. Don't know. Wilson could be running for his life. Look at that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look there. I mean, Raiders are so tough. Okay. 5 out of 7 games. Tough. And look at this stretch of 4 tough. And look at this stretch. Man, Seattle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One of the toughest schedules in the NFC. We'll see. Wilson's going to earn his cookies this year. San Francisco could be 2-1. Green Bay should get them there. Look at Frisco's run out. 11 through 17. Oh my goodness. Nice. Look at this. This is almost the best, except for the Rams. Look at that. That is great. San Francisco could really surprise this year. Could make the playoffs. Pretty damn good shot. Nice. Frisco could surprise. Tampa Bay. Brady starts out 2-0. They beat Dallas, Atlanta. They could lose 2. Could be, boy, they could be 3-3 week 6. Going into their bye, they could be they could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They could be 3-5. Could be 4-4. Playoffs, they got 2 tough and 1 easy. Tampa starts off, but that could be tricky. Look at this. Oh my goodness. We'll see if Brady can. This will test him right here. If they can win 3 of these 5, then they got a shot at repeating. They're that good. Wow. Tennessee, look at this. Could be 4-1. Could be 5-1. Look at this. Other than Indianapolis, Tennessee's going to look strong. But come playoff time, they're going to hurt you weeks 15 and 16. Rut-row. So be aware. Gets tougher in the back end of the season. Look at that. Back end of the season. Tough. So just be aware. Tennessee could fold up on you when you really need them. Washington could be 2-1. Nice. Could be 3-1. Uh-oh. Could be 4-4. But they get a nice little 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So they walk. So if they can come out of that bye 4-4, they could slip in. They could win the East. Look at this. Look at this stretch right here. They're going to help you in the playoffs. Oh, yeah. But they're going to survive. Mentally, they're going to survive this block. So it's kind of tough, really tough cakewalk. Look at that. Look how Washington figures here. Interesting. Really interesting daps and landscapes. Okay, that's my finish of all that. I got some more parts to the DAP, so come back for more parts. We're having fun. This is the process. Dr. Bush. Woo woo.